Right then, so I've just bought this. It's a Sightmark Wraith. And it is the 4-32/50 HD series Wraith. And I've just fitted it, literally just fitted it onto my Steyr Pro X Scout. This unit isn't actually brand new. My friend's had it for a while. He's had it fitted to his HMR, but he's gone more to using his shotgun now on the squirrels. And he's got a telescopic sight in his HMR. Wasn't using this, so decided to sell it, and I bought it. So these are, I suppose, the budget end of night vision gear, really. They come in about £599, something like that. They're just under, shade under 600 quid. And you know, they're at the budget end of the night vision gear, along with the things, sights like the Yukon and possibly some of the earlier parts. And the first thing to say about it is I saw the reviews of these and pictures of these on the internet. Obviously they're all over the place from Scott Country, and initially when I first saw these, I must admit I actually thought the body of them was some kind of ABS plastic, because on all the pictures and a lot of the films the bodies look like they're made out of ABS, but when he got it, I was surprised to find that they're not. It's actually, everything on it is metal. There's very little plastic on it at all, actually. In fact, there's none really. Everything's metal. You've got a rubber cap at the front that lifts up, and you've got your rubber eyepiece at the back, the little bellows eyepiece. The idea behind that is your eye sits flush with that, so at night when you're looking through it and you've got it illuminated, you don't get any glare shining onto your face. Now I've got to say that for the money, I am so far very, very impressed with this. Now I've shot this on his HMR, and I've got to say I like it. I think it's a very impressive sight for the money. Very impressive sight for the money. It comes with an IR illuminator, and basically this just fits on the Picatinny rail on the top. All fingers and thumbs. Get it on the end. Like so. So it's fairly straightforward, and then it tilts around and you can focus it by winding it in or out. Push button on the back to turn the IR illuminator on, and it's got different levels of illumination. So you can have it fully on, half on, or on maximum power, minimum power, and then off, as well as focusing it. The whole thing runs on AA batteries. So you've got AA batteries in here, and you've got 4 AA batteries in a compartment here. That just unscrews, and 4 AAs slip in there. You can use rechargeables or normal ones. So it's a fairly straightforward unit to power. If you've got everything running up and running at night and you've got the IR on, the IR does eat through the batteries a bit, so you're probably better off buying rechargeables for it. It's got onboard video recording and an onboard camera facility, so you can take pictures, and they come out in HD quality, and during the day this runs full colour, and at night you can have it in either black and white or green mode. You've got a variety of reticules to pick from. Those are the rets that you can choose on the side there. So you can choose various ret styles, and it's got 5, I think it's 5 preset POI settings. So you can either use it for various ranges, so you've got different POI settings for different ranges, or you can set it up for various rifles and swap it between them. So you've got like one setting for one rifle, one setting for another rifle, etc. So it's got up to 5 of those on board it as well. And all in all, I've got to say, it's a dead straightforward way of using it. Now, I used to have a Pard, and I love the Pard. The Pard's a brilliant little scope, but the controls were a little bit fiddly all over the place with the buttons, and it's like press them once, press them twice, and all that lot. Bit annoying, a little bit fiddly. This is really straightforward. It's got like a toggle control thing on the top, and everything is really easy to use. Dead simple, much simpler to use than on the Pards. Similar to the Pard, it's got a one-shot zero system, and this one's slightly better, I think, than the Pard one. It's slightly easier to use. I think it is anyway. Focus on the front here, this collar here, and this is all metal again on the collar, and then you've got your diopter setting focus for your eye at the back to get the ret in focus. So all in all, it's Picatinny fitting as well, and it comes with its own inbuilt Picatinny mount. So all in all, it's a fairly straightforward bit of kit. There's nothing particularly over the top complicated with it really. It's a fairly simple to use bit of kit. There's no LRF with it, no laser rangefinder with it. And during the day, the picture quality in HD is exceptionally good. It really is. It's very good. The image is crystal clear, and at night it's also very good. The only thing I would say is that the supplied IR Illuminator is perhaps a little bit lacking. It's not the best IR Illuminator in the world. It's probably plenty fine enough for air rifles. But if you're using FAC air rifles, or you're thinking of fitting this to anything shooting a bit more range, I would suggest factoring in the extra cost of buying a better IR Illuminator, because this one's not the best in the world. It's plenty good enough for air gunning. You know, if you're shooting a normal sub 12 foot-pound air rifle, there's no need to bother. This is absolutely fine. But if you're thinking of going to out to shoot 100 yards, then or beyond, you do need a better IR Illuminator, I think anyway. I certainly would. If I was pushing it out beyond sort of 60 yards, I would buy a better IR Illuminator. But other than that, this thing is so simple to use. It's one press to turn it all on. It's dead straightforward. Toggle left or right for the day use, day or night. And the menu is really simple. Really simple. Onboard SD card. It's not got a Wi-Fi. You can't Wi-Fi the pictures to your phone or to your computer. You have to set the SD card out, push it into whatever you're hoping to view it off, but that's no real big deal in this day and age. And like I say, with the batteries, so simple because they're everywhere, and they're comparatively cheap. But I would buy rechargeables because the IR Illuminator in particular is quite thirsty. But all in all, for the money, I mean, like I say, I've had a Pard, I've used a Pard, LRF, I had a Photon, Yukon Photon, I had an old Yukon image intensification tube generation 2 scope. So I've used quite a variety of night vision scopes over the years, and I've got to say that this is pretty impressive, especially when you think of the price point of it. You know, for under 600 quid, it's just a really nice unit, and it's very well made. It surprised me how solid it is. There's a bit of heft to it. I think it weighs, I'll just tell you now what it weighs. It weighs 36.3 ounces, and it's 10.5 inches long by 3 inches high. You get 4.5 hours in preview mode. It's got an 850 nanometer IR illuminator, and it reckons its night vision detection range is 200 yards, but that varies a lot depending on this. In all fairness, even with this, you can pick a man-sized target up dead easy at that range. But if you want really good definition and clarity, then if you're going if you're thinking of using an FAC air rifle or a proper rimfire, then you need to think about upgrading the Illuminator. 50mm objective, 4:32 digital magnification, no optical magnification, it's all digital. And the camera resolution is 1920 by 1080. And you've got 10 reps, pardon me, that you can choose. So all in all, it's pretty damn good. And you know, it sits really nicely on the Picatinny rail. It's a nice solid mount as well. There's nothing flimsy about it. It's waterproof. The little SD card is stored in there. Dead straightforward. Everything on it is really simple. It's probably one of the most user-friendly night vision sights I've ever used as well. This little toggling system on here and the menus, really clear, really precise, and very easy to access and scroll through. It's an absolute doddle. It took me, I think, 3 shots to zero this in, and that's it. I mean, you do have to. It is better if you can find some way of holding it pretty steady. So a decent bag up front and a decent bag at the back will help you know when to zero in really quickly. But 3 shots and it's pretty much done. And it's just so simple to use. You know, the instruction booklet is tiny, and that's all it needs to be. It's really, really simple. Nothing complicated at all about it. And it's not too heavy, and it's not too bulky. And yeah, it's nice, and it's really well made. It's the solidity of the build is really surprising. It's a very, very solid bit of kit. And everything, you know, the focus is really pretty straightforward. You can find it easily enough in the dark. You know, it's not a fiddly thing, and you're not going to get your fingers in the way of the lamp or in the way of the front of the objective when you're trying to focus it, like you can do with a PARD, unless you buy the little plastic add-on bits, so you've got a bit more grip. Because with the PARD, focus is right at the very front, and when you're trying to move it, sometimes you can block out the IR or actually block out the image altogether while you're trying to focus it, which makes it a bit of a pain in the neck. But this, it's set back a bit, so there's no chance of blocking the IR or the objective. And all in all, I've got to say, it's a pretty smart, very durable, and very well made looking little unit. So I'll just bring the camera in a bit closer and let you have a closer look at it. So that's the battery compartment. That just unscrews. There's 4 batteries under there. That's your focus. That's your diopter. Little spongy eye cap. Inbuilt Picatinny rail. Flip up lens protector. Rubber eyes for the front. IR illuminator. Straightforward. Turn, focus. Dead simple. Nothing to that. Push button. 3 different presses. Press it once. Low power. Press it again. Medium power. Press it again. Full power. Press it again and it turns itself off. Little rubberized cover here for your SD card. Again, everything all metal, all casting, everything on it is metal. And it's a really, really nice little unit. Good nuts as well, with little holes in, so you can get a decent bit of tension on them, torque them down to the right levels to hold it onto the rifle. And it's really, it's a solid little unit. And there's the scrolling thing I was saying about. Really easy to use, really easy to find. And Wraiths, the available Wraiths. So all in all, it's a very smart little unit, and it sits on the rifle really rather well. Doesn't have much bulk, doesn't have that much weight, and yeah, simple to mount, really nice bit of kit. So I'll be using this day and night to do some filming, and I will be moving on to the Delta Wolf as well, giving it a try on that so you can see what the Delta Wolf's capable of. But I thought that first rifle in, I'd try it on this one. So I'll be out doing some shooting with this probably this weekend, and doing a bit of night work with it, and you can see the results. So keep your eye open for that. But yeah, impressed with that. It's got to be one of the nicest bits of night vision gear for the money that I've had. I mean, the PARD was really good. The PARD is good, and the LRF PARD is good because it's got the laser rangefinder in it. But they are, again, you know, another 150, 200 quid dearer. And they're not, I have to say, as much as I like the PARD and the performance of the PARD's good, I think the ergonomics of it, the controls are not as good as on this Wraith. They're better thought out on the Wraith than they are on the PARD. So there you go. Thanks for watching.